Yo, what's going on, people? Today we actually have another post-commentated Wi-Fi battle. This is actually a battle that I had just earlier today after searching helplessly on passerbys for I don't know how long. They never reply. But I actually just went to test out a team that I built around an agility Ampharos set because Ampharos happens to be like my favorite electric type Pokemon. So I just threw a team together and I finally found a battle against somebody who seemed like they know what they're doing. This guy's name's Trevor, so without further ado, let's get straight into this. You always gotta pick the powerful music, yo. Listen to that. So he actually leads off with his Mamoswine, which I figured, and I knew he'd go straight for the Stealth Rocks. So I took this as an opportunity to set up my own Stealth Rocks, especially since this Bronzong is... I need this Bronzong, it's my counter to Mamoswine since it has Levitate, it can't be hit by Earthquake. But after I set up my Stealth Rocks, he's gonna go straight out into his Excadrill. This Excadrill is actually Mold Breaker, making my Levitate useless. So I actually thought that he would go straight for the Rapid Spin and not the Earthquake. So I went for Gyro Ball to get some damage off, but he actually goes for Earthquake this turn, which is really bad for me because I really need this Bronzong. It's my only counter to Mamoswine. So I just figured that the switch to my Landorus was too easy first turn, but I'm gonna switch to it here. And he's actually just going to outplay me and go for the Rapid Spin on this turn. I just had everything backwards. But even though I'm just going to take a little bit of damage, I really need my Stealth Rocks up to take care of that Charizard. So I'm going to go for the Rock Polish because I felt the going for, Earth Power would be just too obvious on this turn. He would switch out, but he just continues to outplay me, and he actually goes for the Rock Slide this turn. So I go for the Earth Power this turn, but thinking he probably forgot that I actually popped his Air Balloon when I went for Gyro Ball. But since this Mamoswine can easily take me out with a Night Shard, I'm gonna switch out to my Bronzong again because it's my perfect counter to Mamoswine. I can take resisted damage from any ice move, and I can't be hit by any sort of ground type attack like the Earthquake. So the Ice Shard's gonna do no damage, and he's gonna switch right out as I go to set up my Stealth Rocks here again. He's gonna switch out to his Charizard to avoid taking Stealth Rocks damage on switching, and I'm just gonna get some leftovers recovery back, which I really need because if I lose this Bronzong, I have nothing to take care of that Mamoswine. Even though this guy has his Charizard named Charizard X, it's actually a Charizard Y. I don't know what kind of fake out that is, but it's kind of obvious. And although I thought he would predict the switch into my Greninja or anything else, he actually just goes straight for the Fire Blast, seeing as it would do good damage to anything I try to switch out on my team. So I actually just lost my Bronzong there, unfortunately, and I'm gonna switch out to my Mienshao, seeing as I can get damage off on this Charizard and not really worried about the entry hazards. But he's gonna switch out to his Slowbro as I go for the Fake Out, and it's gonna do absolutely no damage. Slowbro is just too bulky for life. But since this is a Regenerator Mienshao, I'm just gonna go straight for the U-turn since it's probably the only thing that can do a hefty amount of damage to this Slowbro, seeing as it is super effective. And since I figured that he'd go for the Water type move, I'm gonna switch out into my Ampharos, forgetting that you only get the Dragon typing as you Mega Evolve. So even though it's in the sun, oh no, that did nothing. Good thing it was in the sun, that way it'd only do half damage, so I'm not really worried about it. And he doesn't get the burn this turn, fortunately. So I figured the switch into Mamoswine was just too easy to call, but I didn't know, because I don't take pictures of people's teams, I didn't know that he actually had, what is this thing called? Florges. So I Mega Evolved, in which I wasn't going to Mega Evolve, but I decided I wanted Stab on the Dragon Pulse in case I needed to take that Mamoswine out early. but he actually switches this in. Now, this is an even better counter, seeing as it can take any special hit from me, and it is immune to the Dragon Pulse. Now, I don't want to stay in on this thing, so I'm going to switch out to my Swalot. That big gulp, super big gulp, 7-11, Dark Ride confirmed, and I'm going to resist this Moonblast, and I'm guessing that this Florges has no special attack investment, so I'm going to be able to take it pretty well. The Sun runs out on this turn, so his Charizard's not going to be as powerful, but nor is my Hidden Power Fire on my Ampharos. I figured that going for an Agility on my Ampharos would kind of be pointless, seeing as if he switched in the Mamoswine, it could still take me out with a Night Shark. So he's going to switch out as to his Mamoswine as I go for Toxic, trying to take care of that damn Florges. And since my Gulpin is actually a physical wall as well as my, alongside my Bronzong, I figure I can take any attack from this Mamoswine, and the switch into my Landorus is just too easy, so I knew he wasn't going to go for Earthquake, so I decided to stay in and go straight for the Fire Punch. It's not going to do really anything to Mamoswine because Mamoswine is pretty physically bulky, but I am able to take the Icicle Crash pretty well, and the Toxic damage is going to rack up. Now, I figure he's going to go for the Earthquake, but since I lost my Bronzong, I really need my Swalot. It's my last wall. And so I switched into my Landorus, figuring he would go for the Earthquake on that turn. And now I'm feeling like he can go straight for an Ice Shard if I try to attack. So I'm going to switch straight out into my Greninja as he switches out into his, what is it called? Slowbro. Now, I don't know why he's switching to a Slowbro if I decide to attack. He probably figured that he could get switch initiative on me because I definitely wasn't going to stand on the Mamoswine. So he switches out to a Slowbro as I switch out to my Greninja, which I felt like was a good matchup for me, but I wasn't sure what move to actually go for. So I just went straight for the Spikes because my Greninja is actually a physical attacker. And I don't know why the Slowbro stayed in. A Dark Pulse will definitely, I feel like Life Orb Dark Pulse will actually take out Slowbro from this range. I'm not actually sure, I haven't calced it. But since I went for the Spikes and he actually goes for the Ice Beam, even though Scald was a much better option if he thought I was going to go for Dark Pulse since it's stab and all that jazz. But I'm going to take a lot of damage because I set up Spikes and I take super effective damage from that. So seeing as my Greninja is going to die and I really don't have anything that just wants to get burned by this Slowbro, I'm just going to have to go straight for an Acrobatics, not doing any damage to the Slowbro since I'm physical, and just sack my Greninja off. So I'm going to switch out to my Mienshao. I'm going to go for the Fake Out just to get a bit of extra damage, and then I'm going to go for the U-turn. And this whole time, I actually forgot that Slowbro has Regenerator. I spent like a whole day looking for Regenerator Slowbro in Horde battles, and I forgot I had it. So I'm going to switch out to my Ampharos again, since it actually does resist the Scald this time, and I figured he'd want to go for the Scald to get the burn on my Mienshao. And he's actually going to get the burn on my Ampharos this turn, which is really unfortunate for me because Ampharos is really like the only powerful Pokemon I have left on my team. I have the Landorus, but he's not going to be able to take much more switch-ins from Stealth Rocks. So he's actually going to go, my capture card's glitching out again, it's possessed. He's actually going to go into his Florges, that's what it's called, his Florges again, as I go for the Thunderbolt, and I get a little bit of hacks myself, and it really does come in handy. I needed this paralysis on this Florges in order to take it out, so I'm going to go for the Thunderbolt, get the paralysis, and I'm just going to keep going for Thunderbolts. I figured he went for Protect this turn, that's the only reason he went before me, and I'm going to be able to hit it with another Thunderbolt, and one more Thunderbolt should be able to take it out, but seeing as I'm about to die, this is my last turn being alive because the burn's going to kill me. He's actually going to get off the Protect this turn, and I'm just going to die to the burn. He's going to get a little bit of leftovers recovery back also, which isn't really that good for me. But I still have my my Swallow, which can easily take care of this thing. So I'm gonna lose my Mega Ampharos to the burn this turn. Unfortunately, didn't get to put in a lot of work this battle because Mamoswine is a threat. So I'm gonna go straight out to my Landorus. I figured he's thinking he could take any special attack, and I was actually thinking maybe he could also, but I figured I'd just go for the stab, Earth Power. I didn't think he'd want to switch in his Charizard. But I am able to take it out with the Life Orb, Sheer Force, Earth Power. This thing's powerful. And he's gonna switch in his Mamoswine, and he's gonna take quite a bit of damage from entry hazards and a bit of toxic damage. So I'm gonna switch out to my Swallow, seeing as it's really all I can do. As he goes for the Ice Shard, trying to quickly take my Landorus out in case I just want to stay in. But it's not gonna be doing much to my Swallow. And this turn, I figured that I'd just stay in case he predicts to switch back onto my Landorus for the Earthquake, and predict the switch go to my Landorus, and actually goes for the Ice move to kill my Landorus off. But he actually goes for the Icicle Crash, predicting my switch, and I stayed in, and I do manage to get off a rust with my Swallow, and this Mamoswine's gonna die from the Toxic, so I made a good play on that on my part, and my Swallow's gonna be back at full. I can't switch in anything on this Charizard, and I don't know what he wants to go for. I'm not sure if this Charizard has Roost or not, so I just went for the Sleep Talk, hoping that maybe I could get a Toxic off if he does go for Roost, but he actually goes straight for the Fire Blast, and my Swallow, not Gulpin, is not taking that. I go to my Mind Shout because I don't want to switch in my Landorus just yet. I'm going to go for the Fake Out, and he actually stays in. So now that we're going for the Fake Out, it actually puts me in range to kill with the High Jump Kick. So I'm going to go for the High Jump Kick just to take this Charizard out. Now, he's going to send in his, Slowbro again. It's going to take a little bit of entry hazard damage. But since it has Regenerator, I'm not going to be able to take it out this turn with with High Jump Kick. So he actually goes for Slack Off as I go for a Drain Punch, just trying to get more HP back. I think I have a Focus Sash on this Mind Shout, even though I'm not worried that the Slowbro can kill me in one hit. But it goes for Slack Off and gets pretty much all its HP back now. I can't switch in my Landorus on this thing, and my Landorus is the only thing I can use to win at this point. So I'm just going to try and get as much damage off on the Slowbro as I possibly can without using U-Turn, because switching right now is not a good idea for me. I'm going to keep going for High Jump Kick, just getting more and more damage off on the Slowbro, even though it's really going to be doing nothing. It's my only stab that I have left that isn't going to switch me out. I'm going to have to sack off my Mienshao to the Scald on this turn. Since the sun just ran out, he can go for a stab move and have it not be halved in damage. I'm going to switch out to my Landorus now, and I figured I lost at this point because I didn't think an Earth Power would be able to take out the Slowbro from the range of HP it was at, but it actually does manage to take out the Slowbro, but his last Pokemon actually is Breloom. And even though he took a lot of time to select his move here, so I was sitting there, I was like, tell me you don't have the Mach Punch, but he actually did end up having Mach Punch, and that's easily going to be able to take out my Landorus from the range of HP it had. He was probably not going for it, thinking that possibly it wouldn't kill, and then I'd be able to take him out with the Psychic, but nah, he definitely had that game in the bag as soon as, I don't know, as soon as it started. It's all predetermined. I was destined to lose.